Well, hello, this is Jeff Gaudiosi, and you're on misplacedstraws.com, where music comes to life. My guest today has been on the scene for well over 30 years now. He's probably best known as the singer in XYZ. He also spent time in Great White as well as his own solo career. But he's back now with just a fantastic new band called Land of Gypsies. Their self-titled record is out now, and it's just a great straight ahead rock and roll record. Please welcome Terry Ilous. Welcome, Terry.
Thank you. You're supposed to have the crowd say, "Ah!"
I know we need some production here.
Yeah, production.
So let's start with Land of Gypsies. Like I said, it's just a great record, and you have a fantastic band around you. The amazing Fabrizio Grossi from Supersonic Blues Machine and Glenn Hughes and a million others. But tell me a little bit about the band and how you guys came together.
It's really, well, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. It was really Mario and Sarafino from Frontiers who actually contacted me and asked me if I wanted to put a band together. I said, yeah. They said I explained to them my concept of a very organic, I would say organic, not overproduced CD, kind of a 70s vibe, early Foreigner, White Snake-ish, early White Snake, Bad Cool, Humble Pie, all that kind of thing. And I said, this is what I want to do. And they said, okay, we have the perfect guy for you, Fabrizio Grossi. And I met with Fabrizio. I've never met him before. I knew who he was, but not really worked, and we not really worked with him. And we immediately hit it off, and we had a great connection. He's a wonderful producer, a wonderful human being. And I explained to him, I said, this is my idea. I want to go there. And he said, oh, I got you. So because I come from the same background, basically him and I have the same music taste. So it was very easy to get together and work. And he was the producer. I had a bunch of songs written. Sergey had a bunch of songs also written, and we combined all those songs together. And Fabrizio produced the album, and it was a very easy process. The biggest hurdle we had was during the COVID. It was kind of difficult to sometimes get together and things like that. Right. But other than that, it was a very easy and enjoyable process.
One thing I've admired about your career is sort of the diversity of your style, from, XYZ, sort of that 80s LA rock, your Gypsy Dreams covers record, sort of a Latin feel to those covers. But this record really feels like your sweet spot, that modern sounding, classic feeling rock. You mentioned how each of you guys brought in some songs. Were these songs that you've had in your pocket for a while, or was it stuff you were working on for an upcoming project?
Some of the, yes, Jeff, some of the songs I had written a long time ago, actually. For example, the song, oh God, I'm forgetting the name. I'm forgetting, of course. Anyway, I wrote that song 10 years ago for someone else. And I sent the song. I'm a songwriter, so I write songs for a lot of people. And I've sent the song to the guy. He liked it a lot, but there was an issue with the label. So we didn't we didn't work together, and I kept the song. I said, all right. And some of the other songs I wrote during my time with Great White, actually, I was about to give him the songs, and I never got to that point because things happened. But yes, and some of the songs I had to write basically on the spot. Especially sometimes you write a song and you listen to it and you say, you know what, that verse doesn't do it for me, so I gotta rewrite the verse. So Fabrizio was very easy to work with, because many times I would hear something, I say, I'm not convinced. And if I'm not convinced, they will not be convinced either. So he said, all right, what do you hear? I'm like, I hear that. He said, okay, let's try it. Oh, it's better. You know what I mean? Or it's not. You know what I mean? So what's very, again, it was a really painless process
Mhm.
to work with Fabrizio and Sergey and AJ and Eric. It's very, very easy process.
Yeah, one interesting thing too, you mentioned how this is on Frontiers Records, and normally when people think Frontiers Records, you automatically go to that melodic, highly produced. Did you have to convince them to let your vision kind of run this record? Because it's very different from what they usually do.
Well, I don't know about convincing, but Fabrizio was is the uh, the mastermind behind that. Meaning, I was pretty adamant about that. I said I will not do an '80s album like I did back in 1989.
Yeah.
That's what they want. I totally respect that. I respect Mario and Serafino, the highest respect for what they've been doing all these years. But I'm not going to do that. So I'd rather say thank you very much. Here's your money back. Goodbye. And but it never came to that point because I think they trusted the Fabrizio and they had a little bit of faith in me. Uh, and yeah, faith is very important in someone's life. So they had faith in me and Fabrizio, and we delivered an album. They were at first questioning it. They were not. I think they were taken by surprise. I don't think there were any negativity in
Yeah.
their answer. They were just surprised because they said, "Well, it doesn't sound like a blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah." The big backup vocals, journey, and everything doesn't sound nothing like that. But they accepted the CD and they sent it to a bunch of people as a test. And I think they got a pretty good response. So they said, well, this is it's great. So here we are, you know.
You mentioned sort of the difficulty of working through the pandemic, putting a band and a record together. Have you guys been able to actually play together at all, and get these songs, give them some life?
Nope. The only thing we had is Fabrizio and I. So I would go, the process was simple, Jeff. I would go to the studio. We would set up a click track. Okay. Set up a click track, and I would set up the pattern for the song. For example, I would pick up, for example, for the song Shattered, or for the other song Rescue Me, I would pick up my guitar and play Rescue Me for that. And he says, okay, that's gonna be the verse. Okay, then there's the pre-chord. So we had a pattern, and I would sing a melody. I didn't have the lyrics yet, except just the chorus. And it would have a pattern, and then you say, okay, well, we're gonna put this part right there. This is okay, perfect. Okay, we got the song basically. Now let's send it to Serge in Europe, and let's send it to Eric, who's in Los Angeles, and AJ in Nashville. And I'm gonna send the lyrics, the melody to Jake and lyrics, and that's the way it worked. It was really an interesting process. I didn't expect that at all. It was the easiest album I've ever recorded in my life.
Really?
Yeah, I've recorded and produced so many albums in my life. This was a very painless process. I mean, actually, it was very fun because Fabrizio being Italian and myself being European as well. So we talked mostly about soccer and food, and we wanted to call the album Prosciutto and Camembert, and we didn't think Frontiers would go for it. But that's the idea. We were like, all we talked about is food, man. Talk about coffee, talk about espresso, who makes the best espresso, best soccer team in the world. I said, so we don't get me started with the French. Fuck you, the English are better. No, they're not better. The Italians, they suck. We talked about soccer a lot. And then we said, oh, let's write a song real fast. So
in between all of that.
In between all of that, he would say to me, do you have anything? I'm like, well, I may have something. So I have everything on my phone, and I would just play it, and he would say, wow, okay, I like it. No, I don't like it. So simple.
Do you see the band becoming a touring entity at some point? Should things begin to clear up a little bit?
Yes, actually, I didn't. Yes, Jeff. At first, no. At first, I was just like,
Mhm.
just a quick project.
Yeah.
But now I realize there's a very strong potential because a lot of people seem to be liking that
Mhm.
CD. So I'm I'm realizing that there's a potential because a lot of people ask me, "Are you going to play those songs live? Are you going to do
Mhm.
that?" I'm like, "Well, I didn't plan on it, but yes,
Mhm.
yes, I'm okay with that. Yes, I'm okay
Yeah.
with that."
And we mentioned XYZ. For the most part, when people see that band now, you're seeing the classic lineup of XYZ,
Yeah,
which a lot of your peers can't say. Would you have any upcoming plans for XYZ in 2022?
we have two shows lined up so far. We have the Masters of Rock
Mm.
in a few weeks, living out of Fort Lauderdale, and we have M3
Mhm.
out of Maryland, and we have other dates, but we mostly will be concentrating on releasing the new album.
Oh, good.
The album is ready, pretty much ready to go.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of who's gonna carry the album, who's gonna basically be selling it.
Mhm.
So we're just still talking about that. But other than that, the album is ready to go. I mean, I've written the songs, um, and Pat has written the lyrics with me, and we're ready to go.
Mhm. Well, we'll definitely have you back on when that one comes out and get a little deeper into the history of that band as well. Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
and more recently, naturally, you spent time in Great White. You put out two just really strong records with that band, and the story's been told a million times of everything that went on, at the end. But going back a little bit more, I mean, how did it start? I think a lot of people were a little surprised when your name came up, but then once you heard it, you're like, well, yeah, that's a perfect fit. How did you first get involved?
Well, thank you. I knew the guys for a long time. We were on the same roster.
Mm.
Sullivan was my agent, Sullivan Big. It's a great agent, and I was doing an event at M3 actually, M3 2009, and XYZ was playing, and Great White was playing the same day somewhere else at a
Mhm.
different venue, but I think about 1,000 miles away. And Jack got ill, and my agent says, the band doesn't want to cancel the show. Great White, is there any way you can fly after M3 to do another show
Mhm.
with a Great White? And I said, well, I don't know their songs.
Mhm.
I just know the
Mhm.
main titles, whatever. So it doesn't matter. Just be there to sing something and see what you can do. I said, all right. So I did the show at M3. Um, and I had a plane taking me right away to the different city the same day, same afternoon actually. I was done at, um, and then I arrived. I did what I could. I had lyrics on the floor. I was looking at Mark, saying, "What's the next line?" And I did what I could. I announced it. I said, "Look, I'm just here to replace." And the singer who's ill, unfortunately, I am by no means the singer, and they um, they said, okay, people accepted that. And
Mhm.
then Jack unfortunately was still ill, and they had some legal issues, which
Mhm.
don't even want to talk about. But I was asked to stay in the band for a few more weeks, which I did to help them tour. Really,
Mhm.
there was nothing else. I remember Abby Steinman, their agent, say to me, "Don't forget, you're just a band aid, nothing else." I'm
Mhm.
like, all right, I'll be the band-aid. And I did 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, Jack was not coming back because he was very ill. And they tried a different singer. Actually, they tried Jenny Lane.
Yep. From
They
White.
tried Shortino. They contacted so many
Mhm.
singers. But apparently they always came back to me. And I said, all right, I'll do it. And then when Jack and them had an issue, they've asked me if I wanted to join the band, and I said, yeah. I
Mhm.
said I joined the band, and I think people were nervous at first. Promoters, people were surprised. Some were happy, some were very disappointed, and of course, and I understand that replacing a singer is a very, very difficult thing.
Yeah.
Um, so I did what I could. I did it my way. I did not cheat, meaning I did not try to become a clone,
Mhm.
like Jack's clone, which Jack is a friend of mine, so I never tried to be his clone at
Yeah.
all. We have a different way of singing, but
Mhm.
in a way, it's similar, but it's not exactly the
Mhm.
same. But the fact that we are both bluesy singers, rock bluesy singer, was a plus. And so I did what I could. I respected his singing and the melodies and everything, but give the songs my own twist.
Mhm.
And I think after a few months, the fans started to warm up to me, and promoters say, "Yeah, actually it's working."
Mhm.
And then I ended up staying with the band for 9 years
Yeah.
until I got fired.
Yeah. And I've asked a variation of this question to a lot of singers who've stepped into other
Right,
bands.
right.
Yeah, as someone who wrote your own material in XYZ and built your own catalog throughout that band and your solo work, what's the adjustment, when you finally took the full-time position at Great White, what's the adjustment coming in and realizing, okay, I am changing now from just playing my songs to playing somebody else's, when that's not really what you've done through your career? How do you sort of reconcile that, as you get ready to play those shows?
That's a good question. I think you have to realize that you're just a guest,
Mm,
okay? You're just a guest, and you have to respect the melodies, you have to respect the songs, and you have to respect the fans, which I did, by the way.
mhm,
And you have to respect your previous singer also, which I did as well.
mhm,
I always had a great admiration for my friend Jack, so so there was no problem here. Jack and I had a different way of singing. Um, I have a different technique. I use a different technique. I don't know if people can understand that, but I am more of a chest right
mhm,
here kind of singer. So I use a lot of power, like a Ronnie Dio. I use that kind of power.
mhm,
And Jeff has and Greg,
mhm,
Jack has a different way of singing. It's a
mhm,
little bit lighter.
mhm.
It's beautiful, by the way,
Yeah.
very beautiful, but not as different way
Mm,
of singing.
right.
So I had to adjust to that, which was a bit difficult for the first few shows because I'm used to,
Yeah.
and he was like, so
Mm,
it was a difficult thing at first.
mm,
And I even called a friend of mine who's a vocal teacher. I said, how do you place your voice like that? And he explained to me, he said, oh, it's the back of your throat. So,
mhm,
oh, okay. So, and then once I got the
mhm,
technique, that was okay. But also there's a thing where replacing a singer is very, very difficult.
mhm,
Some people will never accept you, and I totally respect
mhm,
that and understand that. Believe me, when they tried to replace me in XYZ, they brought in some great singers, and I remember one of my friend
mhm,
saying, "I'm not doing it
mhm.
because it's just suicide." It's just
Yeah.
like no freaking way. He was right. It's very difficult to replace a singer. So you have to adjust and you have to stay humble.
Mhm,
You have to remember that you're just a guest
mhm,
and you have to go by the rules. The band has been established for a long time. They have their own ways of doing things that are not your ways of doing things. And you have to respect that. Which what I did for 9 years.
mhm,
I've always respected the fans and the band. And to this day, I have the highest respect for both for the fans and the band. I have no animosity or no. I never thought I was better than anybody else.
mhm.
So well, things ended
Yeah.
up, and it is what it is.
Yep. Well, and things have a way of working out because now we have this great new band, Land of Gypsies,
Thank you.
and we've been spending some time with just the great Terry Ilous. The record and the band are both called Land of Gypsies. Again, just a great rock and roll record, modern sounding, classic feeling. Highly, highly recommend it. Terry, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. Best of luck with the record.
I appreciate that, Jeff. You take care. Happy holidays to you and your family, man.
You as well. And hopefully we'll talk again when the XYZ record is ready to go. You're
Thank
always
you, brother.
welcome.
Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.